Guys, I'm not sure how to start this video. I mean, if I gush about the announcements, then I'll be like a fanboy. Oh, of course Anthony likes this game. No, you know what? Fuck you. Naughty Dog Games! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! PSX 2016 a few days ago was the site of a historic moment. Well, okay, that's going a bit far, but a bunch of games were announced, and I want to focus on two in particular. Last of Us Part 2 and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy! To preface this whole video, I am a huge fan of the Naughty Dog games of the past several years. I know many people find a disconnect between the gameplay and story in these games, calling them shallow and basically movies with a little bit of gameplay, kind of like the Metal Gear Solid games back in the day, but that's the carrot on the stick for me. I keep playing to get to the next cutscene, and when the writing and craft behind these games is this high of quality, that's fine with me. It's that polish that makes these games so enjoyable to me, and the same reason similar games don't stand up to the same standards. I just started playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, and it's fun, don't get me wrong, but the lack of polish in many areas shows the attention to detail Naughty Dog puts into everything they do.
Hey there, little guy. How you doing? Hey, you like that? Huh?
Hey, tower.
Yeah, but Sully, come on, it's a lemur. Come on, come say hi. Whoa, hey, Sully. Hey, he stole my apple.
Can't trust anyone these days.
The Uncharted and The Last of Us games have been some of my favorite gaming experiences, so to find out there are two new games being added to that list, kinda, I was excited. So first off, a teaser for The Last of Us 2 was shown. Well, more specifically, Last of Us Part 2, and that's an important distinction. I already knew these games were announced, seeing it all over Twitter, so I wasn't surprised what game it was, but the teaser is vague to start out with. I honestly love trailers like that hide the game until the oh my god moment, like God of War 4 did at E3.
Then show me what you know. I am hungry. Feed us.
But these moments are great, and Naughty Dog knows this because they tried to do it twice in one day.
I walk through the valley. We'll live longer.
Anyways, a person is playing a guitar on a bed, and at this moment I said, please, 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 don't be Ellie. Don't be Ellie playing that guitar. Don't be...
Every last one of them.
God damn it, it's Ellie. Of course it is. Of course it's Ellie. Of course it is. There she is. It's not that I dislike this character, trust me. I think she's great and one of the most realistically written characters in gaming.
Oh, why are these all stuck together? I'm just fucking with you.
But here's my problem and a lot of people's problem with this trailer. Ellie and Joel's story has been told. Yes, Joel is there as well. It's called Part 2 because this really is a continuation of the story from the first game. In fact, her playing the guitar in itself is a callback to this moment.
Yeah, once we're done with this whole thing, I'm gonna teach you how to play guitar. Yeah, I reckon you'd really like that.
So without spoiling the first game, honestly, play it if you haven't, it's really good stuff. The game basically ends with everyone's story being wrapped up. Joel loses his daughter in the opening of the game, and Ellie is like the new daughter he can't lose again, while Ellie eventually comes to trust and form a similar bond with him. It's a simple story hung on the whole world coming to an end, with fungus, zombies, and God knows what else. But in the end, it was more about the emotions of the characters than the world around them. Kind of like The Walking Dead. What a coincidence!
You think you know me? Huh? Well, let me tell you something. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
So with that, a lot of people were hoping if a sequel did come to The Last of Us, it would be set in a different location with a different set of characters. I was also in this camp because the world they created in the first game has tons of potential to tell other stories within it. Again, like The Walking Dead having a spin-off series. Imagine The Last of Us 2 takes place 100 years in the future. People have all but forgotten what life was like before the disaster, something the first game already touched on, with Ellie being a bit too young to remember much before the downfall of society. Maybe people are forgetting technology and moving to a more barbaric time, reverting to tribe mentalities. So basically Horizon Zero Dawn, but you get my point. Any number of stories could be told using the backdrop of exploring the emotions of the characters, which is what the series up to this point has been all about.
Not her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel, but I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Now, Naughty Dog has done a great job, in my opinion, making sequels that, for the most part, get better and better out of the Uncharted series. But I would argue those characters are much more suited to sequels because of their adventurous nature. The characters in The Last of Us, though, are not really the adventurous type. They did what they had to out of necessity, not want. So I hope returning to the characters from the first game doesn't lead to a here we go again, feeling.
Ellie,
What?
the ladder. Come on.
Right.
These concerns are something Naughty Dog is aware of and has been asked about after the announcement, and their answer is honestly pretty straightforward. Trust us. They expressed their excitement to return to these characters and to continue the story, so hopefully they have a compelling idea to continue from where it left off. Ellie does mention,
I'm gonna find. And I'm gonna kill. Every last one of them.
but I hope it's not just a revenge story and that's it. With the track record of Naughty Dog and Uncharted 4 being my favorite story they've told yet, I'm inclined to, as they said, trust them. Hopefully this isn't the Naughty Dog version of Cars 2 that shows a great studio can make some mistakes, but right now, I will trust them. The second thing they announced was a new Uncharted game. Oh my god! Well, as I said, kinda. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy was announced as a story DLC for Uncharted 4, but also not a DLC because it's getting a physical release, so question mark? Not a lot is known about this game because it was just shown in a trailer with this cold opening type thing, again, hiding the character until the end.
Oh, you should relax. You'll live longer.
But I do know it's an Uncharted game, and I'm happy. It starts with this random girl wandering through some war-torn city in the Middle East, until it gets revealed that the character is actually Chloe from Uncharted 2 and 3. You know, the one with the sweet ass. Nepal starts off with a truck chase, then shootouts, then this girl with this ass does this.
Seems like I am always saving your ass.
That's right, Chloe is back, along with Nadine, you know, that really strong black chick that kept beating the shit out of Nate and his brother. So I presume the DLC story will involve mainly these two characters, which marks the first point in the Uncharted series where you play as someone other than Mr. Nathan Drake. This is exactly what I felt The Last of Us 2 should have done. I mean, sure, we already know these characters, but they can tell a different story from Nate going on an adventure through a lost city.
It's really here.
I'm sure Chloe and Nadine have to go through different struggles than our usual Nate character, so I'm looking forward to seeing what those are. What's interesting is Lost Legacy seems to be a prequel to the story of Uncharted 4. In that game, it was clear that Nate was aged and was getting older, but once Chloe's face is revealed, it looks like she's the same age as she was in Uncharted 2 and 3, mind you, with a new generation of paint slapped on her face. And for that matter, Nadine also looks younger than her appearance in Uncharted 4, so this leads me to believe it takes place years before Uncharted 4, and I'm okay with that. Chloe just kind of disappeared from Uncharted 3, and Nadine just showed up in Uncharted 4, so fleshing out those characters could be great. Give Chloe some closure, and maybe show how Nadine became such a badass in the future, or why she does the things she does. It will be fun thinking back to her actions in Uncharted 4 with the context of a more well-rounded character.
Point is, I'm done trying to do things the clean way. If the treasure is here, we'll find it. And if not, well, maybe it's time to move on, huh?
So with the DLC getting a physical release, it tells me this is going to be a pretty substantial package. At least I hope so. If you already have Uncharted 4, then yay, DLC for a cheaper price, I'd imagine. But if you want to get a box for your shelf, you can as well. Most of the trailer seems like the opening minutes of the game because while it is gameplay, it's super linear. And my autocorrect just changed super linear to a one word. Super linear is a word? I doubt that the game will be a walking simulator like it's shown here. This is probably just the opening that starts your adventure in this war-torn Middle Eastern city. And if this whole game takes place here in this city instead of the globe-trotting adventure the main games usually are, perhaps they can make a longer and more personal story than if they tried to make a ton of different environments. Uncharted 4 has been my favorite game in the series, and if the trend continues, I'm definitely looking forward to this experience. If you really don't get what all the fuss is about with these games, I understand. People have different tastes, but for me, linear stories are the way to go. I'm honestly bored at this point with open world games because most of them just feel like repetitive filler that goes on way too long. With a linear story-driven game, the story can be paced out perfectly along with the gameplay to keep both engaging and hopefully not become repetitive.
With Grand Theft Auto 5, Rockstar have tried to reimagine the open-world game in a number of ways. The game world is beautiful, massive, and diverse. A sprawling, satirical reimagining.
If I'm looking for engaging gameplay, I'll play Battlefield 1 or Overwatch, multiplayer games that's main focus is gameplay. But if I want story, I have and will continue to enjoy linear third-person adventure games. And boy, does the future look good for that genre. Uncharted, Lost Legacy, Last of Us 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last Guardian, God of War 4, Legend of Zelda, Days Gone, and heck, I've still got to beat Rise of the Tomb Raider. Girl Uncharted. You know, why not? Hey, real quick before you click off this video, hit the like button to help support the show because YouTube thinks that's the most important thing now apparently. Let's game the system and get Culture Shock onto that trending page, even though it's paid for. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment below letting me know what you think about, The Last of Us 2 being announced, or Uncharted new games, or do you like Uncharted games? Do you not like linear games and you like open world games? Tell me why. Let's have a conversation. That's all I want. Also, if you guys like this video and want more like it, consider supporting Culture Shock on Patreon. Thank you so much to everyone who donated on Patreon, and a special thank you to everyone over $5.